And we are set. PHARRCAST 2024, officially the first episode of the year. We're really excited. And this time I'm going to just go straight into the details, straight into the questions. Joining us, we have Dr. Flores, Dr. Jonathan Flores, our new city manager. Well, you're not as new, right? Now you're what, 6 months in, 7 months in? 6 months in.
Drop the new, right?
Yeah, let's drop the new and start with a new year. And now let's just keep it as city manager. And our commissioner, Michael Pacheco.
You can still say new for me.
Okay, we'll say new.
I'm still
yeah.
new.
And you're also the youngest, so that works.
I'll take it.
Well, what do you think about the set? We're just kicking off with this new project. We launched it in fall of 2023, still making some tweaks, but it's official now.
Oh, it looks awesome. It looks wonderful.
We're excited once again for our viewers. This is a platform where we're going to have guests, elected officials, our city manager, city hall updates, breaking news, and all of that just to keep connecting with our audiences. So we wrapped up 2023 in just an amazing way with our ball drop, our New Year's Eve ball drop. So did you enjoy it? Were you expecting 9,000 people?
You know, that was awesome to see that many people come in comparison to last year. You know, to have 9,000 community members come out and enjoy that type of event, seeing all the smiling faces, all the families out there ringing in the new year together with us was so awesome and so special. And that's the purpose of those kind of events, to be able to bring the community together. So it was great.
Drone show. I saw you.
Yes.
While the drone show was happening, I kept looking at you. You were in disbelief. Great production. Did you enjoy that too?
I truly enjoyed that drone show, you know, and you saw the models that were going out there, you know, the 18-wheeler, the avocados, the angel, all the different things, you know, that really indicative of what's going on here in Pharr. And that was awesome to be able to see that and to see all the community enjoying that. It was just truly an amazing experience.
I think for the most part, Commissioner, have you heard anything, any feedback from, residents, family members?
Oh, everybody loved it. It was
did?
amazing. The drone show was amazing. I've never seen one before. I don't know many people who have here, so it was definitely something new. I'm really glad the city got to be able to add that to the show.
Yeah, it got a lot of traction, a lot of viewers. I believe the last cut in on social media had close to 8,000 views from the numbers I ran last night. So it's exciting. People not only witnessed it in person, but, now they're able to see everything through technology and platforms like social media. So we've talked about the amazing things about ball drop, but, there's also been a lot of criticism on, some of the things that were incorporated this year, because with new things being incorporated, obviously there's an increase in cost. So, what do you say to that feedback in our community?
I think that for me, I'm very transparent. I'm welcoming to criticism and feedback, but I think that we got to be careful of the manner and the way that we do it. A lot of people put a lot of hard work into these type of events, and these are events that we want to bring to the community, and we want to make sure that they're free for our community so that we can come together and celebrate and have a good time, right? There's always room for improvement, in any type of events, and that's why we have our after action reviews. But again, to be critical over the cost, these are things that we budget every year, and their quality of life, and so that we can get together and celebrate. You do these type of events, there's going to be critics regarding the money. You don't do them, and we don't do enough for the community, right? So you got to weigh those. And I think for us, we want to make sure that we do for our community, because our community is everything to us. So
we have a growing region. Why not bring these productions to the Rio Grande Valley? That's my feedback to the negative criticism.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that folks need to remember that we have city employees that are working these events, and they put a lot of hard work into them. There's, certainly from our public safety perspective, our public works, the medics, everybody that works so hard to put these things together. So to be very critical about those type of things, again, they're budgeted items, and it's about bringing the community together and providing them, like you said, with opportunities that they might not have otherwise. And so when you create that kind of magic for the community, I think you saw it, over 9,000 people coming.
Amazing.
It would be one thing if we spent that kind of money and nobody showed up to the party, right? Well, then there's a concern. You might want to look at that. But when you got 9,000 people coming out here, enjoying it, and providing us with good feedback, saying, hey, when is the next big event? Because we wouldn't be able to do this otherwise. I mean, that's where it's at. And
I think 2023, we definitely saw a spike in every event in comparison to previous years, as, again, we have growing events. Okay, let's just wrap up 2023. We have a new year. I just thought it was important to bring this subject matter up because it was a very successful event. And, there was some negative feedback around it as well. So I think it's important to address these conversations, right? This is
Take
why
the
this
good-
platform is here.
Yeah, you take the good and the bad, always.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions. So, 2024, new year, new city, new me, new goals. What's cooking in 2024? And I guess Commissioner Pacheco, Dr. Jonathan, you can both, kind of like answer this question, but we can start with perhaps the events that are cooking or in the works for 2024, and then we can transition into the projects.
Yeah, so, here on the 18th, we have our State of the City, which is a big,
That's right.
Big event, to be able to highlight and showcase everything that the city has done and the future goals of the city, right? So that's a big one. And then at the same time, that one's going to be broadcast so our community can tune in and watch and really just stay informed with what's going on in the city. We also have our...
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's
go
a
ahead.
lot of people that don't know what your State of the City address is. So if you can just summarize it for those listening, or just learning about a State of the City, why is the State of the City even hosted in a city, and what's the purpose?
I think it's so important for our mayor to be able to address the constituents and to be able to tell them where we were at, where we're going, and how we're going to get there. And really, that's the purpose of State of the City, for him to be able to communicate to all stakeholders, and to let them know where we're going as a city. And so, great event. I've watched all of the previous ones, and such a great production. And it's exciting to be a part of it this year, and to be able to see the mayor go up there and speak about the future of our great city.
Yeah, that's approaching. What else is happening? Any major events, or are we sticking to the same events we've had, established?
So there's going to be a lot of the same. We'll have the weddings on Valentine's Day that'll happen. Then we have our...
Oh boy,
Yeah.
fellows listening out there,
Yeah.
put a ring on this.
Get ready. Get ready.
Yeah. So,
That's exciting. And I know Hubfest is no longer happening. Can you elaborate on that?
So we're not going to be doing Hubfest this year. We decided to consolidate that, and Avocado Fest will be the new festival for the city of
Wow.
Pharr. And so that'll happen again in October. As you know, we just finished our first one this last October, and we'll continue that next October with the start of the produce, and it'll be a bigger event this year. So keep a lookout.
We're just
for that.
shifting it. We're just shifting it from March over to October and just rebranding it.
Absolutely. And so coming up, we're going to have our St. Patty's Day 5K that we want folks to sign up for, and then sometime in May we're going to have our Warrior Race Triathlon. So
Are you a runner, Commissioner?
No, I'm not a runner.
well, you better-
I mean, I'm not fast.
Well, the mayor's going to make you run these. He makes all of the directors get involved, and I'll
be there for
I'm
sure.
sure you're going to be part of it.
I was at the St. Patty's 5K last year, so it was a great event.
For
I'm
the
sure.
green beer or for the actual?
Well, just to be there for the gun.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just a great event. Everybody comes together and for the 5K. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be better this next coming year.
Yeah, we have a lot of events in the making.
yeah.
Our Holly event, I know that we partner up with the Indian Association of the RGV, Mayor Hernandez and the Commission, of course. They really like to embrace other cultures, other, backgrounds, and just ethnicities in our communities. So the Hollyfest happens I believe it's April, and it's the kickoff to spring. So it's, powder, different types of powder up in the air. Their traditional Indian food, finger food. So it's really nice. That's also approaching. So just stand by. We have a lot of information coming up, and we post everything on social media. So that's going to be fun.
That'll be my first one. I've seen pictures, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a lot of
seems
fun. And I think it's also interesting to just learn about, other cultures, other food, other traditions, and that's always fun.
Absolutely. And we want our community to remember, we have our social media platforms, our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook. We also have the city website, a lot of information on the different events and the different things that are going on here in the city of Pharr. So please log in and stay informed of everything that's happening. There's a lot of good things.
What's your favorite event, Commissioner Pacheco? So far, I know you've been here for 6 months, but
everyone's a first for me right now.
It was funny. I spoke to, our media department, and I said, Commissioner Pacheco's going to be here. He's going to discuss events. And they're like, we always see him at the events. We always see him standing by the food trucks. He's always grabbing something to eat.
Well, you got to call him out like
And
that.
I was like,
by the rides.
We either see him buying an espiro popper and elote, or he's always smiling. He's just... I'm serious. That was my guys.
Just for my kids, right? Most of the time,
Yeah.
you gotta get raspas and candies for the kids.
It's part of the experience,
Yeah,
right?
it's fun.
Hard not
Yeah.
to smile with a spittle papa.
Yeah, it really is.
But that's fun, and that's also one thing I really want to mention. We it's part of just the Rio Grande Valley. You know, we just have such a variety and creative vendors, and we always see different things, you know, that are being sold. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah. All right, I think we've spoken enough about events, and let's just put that aside. We know that there's great events happening, but what about projects? I know that there's a lot of questions around, you know, capital improvement projects.
Sure.
Let's get into those questions.
And these projects, you know, often we get involved in a lot of the fun stuff that are going on. And what I want to do is highlight to the community a lot more this year about the major projects that are going on and some of the more minor projects that happen on a day-to-day basis, because there's a lot going on in the city of Pharr that the community needs to be informed about. So, you know, our existing projects, our capital improvement, we have our bridge expansion. We have our DAP 16 projects. We have an I-Road project that's going on for some road improvements out there.
When you say DAP 16, you know, to our viewers, and, you know, we hear this terminology day by day, but if we can just summarize it, what does that mean? Yeah,
so, I mean, that's part of a program that was created that's partially grant funded, right? And there's some investment from the city, but it's really just expanding our international bridge, right? We're going to have multiple lanes, different cold storages, a lot of different things that are happening out there, so that it makes the import-export a lot quicker, a lot easier, more lanes, more traffic flowing through there. So it just frees everything up and allows more vehicles to pass through, right? So,
and all these projects, you know, have they already been fully funded?
Yeah, so that, you know, part of that is from the bond issuance, and then the other part is from different various grants that have been accumulated over time, you know, so they are funded.
Okay. And so those are in the works.
Correct. And, you know, we got, you know, our South Detention Pond, some road improvements on Moore Road and Veterans, and then we have a truck staging area on the south side of town where, you know, if you see those 18-wheelers lining up on the side of the road, and a lot of folks call in and say, hey, this is a nuisance. Right. We have a plan for that. We're working to create a staging area, and that's part of our capital improvement project, where we're going to get them off of the road and get them into an area that's safe for everybody. So, again, those are stuff that are already in the works. And then And, you know, then we got new projects coming up. We have our 24-inch water main from Dicker to Military, a 12-inch water line that's going to be put in on 495 from Jackson to I Road. We have a regional headworks lift station from Veterans to Moore Road. And we have a North Pharr mitigation project from Nolana to Sioux Road on the east side. And then our PD is going to get a new impound canopy and some fencing area. And then our Parks and Warehouse is getting a new building that'll be located on Nelson and Medina. And all these projects total to about $50 million, you know, and so a lot of major infrastructure projects. And this does not include the day-to-day stuff with our road improvements, our pothole projects, which, you know, our public works team works very hard, and they'll be hitting Zone 1, which is Jackson to Cage from Owasso to Eldora in January, Highway 83 from Sam Houston, Cage to Jackson in February, and Monica Avenue from Dicker between Cage and Jackson in March. And then
that's a lot of projects.
Yeah, no, a lot. And
are these all like, the timeline is like kicking off with 2024, and like, what is a timeline of completion?
You know, these are multiple, so they'll go and they'll hit Zone 1, and then they'll revisit it a few months later and just you know, kind of go over it again. So the continuous projects, the road projects, these are continuous, and these are things that our Public Works Department pencil in and they work hard on. And you often don't see that. You don't hear about it, you know. But, you know, I think that it's important to note, because these are things that they impact quality of life, and they're happening every day.
But how do you connect with your constituents or your residents and make sure they know that the programs in mind for quality of life are sustainable in our city?
Yeah, so I mean, any of these projects, right, we have a plan for sustainability. It's one of our core tenets. And, you know, I think that through open communication, utilizing our social media platforms, and again, going through our budget process, our budget workshops, and all those things that we put out there for the community to see, it's important for them to stay informed and to come in at any point and ask questions if they have questions. More than willing to answer those and have good critical conversations, because again, it's a community that's vested in us and trusting us as city leadership to be able to make good, sound decisions and put the best projects forward for the city. You talk about quality of life, you talk about public safety and making those investments in our public safety departments. When you call the PD or the EMS or the fire department, you want to make sure that they arrive with the best equipment and the best vehicles and the best, they put the best product out there, right? Part of that is good customer service. that they're able to engage with our community and provide them with good customer service. So we're very customer service oriented, and, along with providing them with the tools that they need to succeed. All of that goes into being the city manager, right? And making sure that the department heads and the directors have the training that they need to accomplish their goals, that they have the equipment that they need, that they have the adequate budget that they need. And all of that is part of the decision-making process. And once you put all those components together, it's going to be a sustainable product because you have a good action plan in place.
And I believe that action plan is, also open to the public, right? So let's say I'm in the works of, trying to purchase a home or open up a small business. I can always come to City Hall and, this information, this data is provided for
Absolutely,
me.
yes.
Okay. So that's important. I think a lot of people don't know that, your City Hall has all of this information that's critical in the decision process, right, of purchasing your home or your land or your business with the city of Pharr.
And when we talk about sustainability, right, we have so many departments that contribute to our overall success. One of those is our Office of Strategic Excellence, and Melanie Cano and her team.
Shout out to Melanie and her
Shout out to
team.
Melanie.
Do a wonderful job of making sure that we stay on point with our KPIs and our key performance indicators and everything that we need to do to be successful as an organization, right? So a lot of thought and a lot of intentional effort goes into making sure that we put the best possible product out there for our community. So kudos to our team and our staff that do a wonderful job of making the magic happen.
So I know this question is not on my original list, but, as a future investor with the city of Pharr, if there's any investors watching or just somebody that's trying to purchase a home in 2024, once again, going back to quality of life, why is the city of Pharr promising for me to come and invest with you or, with our commission, with our city?
I think in that regard, you see the tremendous growth that has occurred in the city of Pharr and the upward trajectory that we're going in, right? You see a lot of new businesses coming in. You see a lot of residential, multifamily,
Right.
single family that's happening in our city. So this is a great place to raise a family. We saw a 1.9% decrease in overall crime, from our police department in our public safety. We have our own ambulance service, that provides the best quality care for our residents here in the city of Pharr, and the investment, that kudos to our mayor and commission that they cared enough about our community to say, hey, we're going to invest in this because we want the best for our city. So when you see that and you see all these different things coming together, why wouldn't you want to come and invest in the city of Pharr? You look around, you look at the traffic volume that's here every day. I mean, it's here. People are coming to the city of Pharr. So this is a great place to come and invest and do business and to raise a family.
Sold. Commissioner Pacheco, I think I need
was
to
gonna
find
add
a
on.
realtor.
I was going to add on a little bit there. But
Go
he took
ahead.
most
Go
of
ahead.
it.
I know
I'm
you have a
sorry.
background in
No,
is that
I was
correct?
I do in commercial real estate.
Right.
And I think a lot of the reason for investment is just because of exactly what Jonathan mentioned. The proof is already here, right? There are businesses that come to Pharr, the small or large entities and corporations that come to Pharr are successful. They see success, and it allows them to continue to expand in the Rio Grande Valley past the city of Pharr.
Right.
So I think that once they see, it's very with new AI that's out there, right? There's so much data that you can look at.
What do you mean? We don't use AI here.
No,
What are you
no,
talking
we do.
about?
We really do.
No, we
really
do, and it's been great.
It has been, and it's been able to truly show the demographics and the traffic counts that in the past have
Right.
always been, they've been measured in a different way.
Right.
And now that we have new technology, it's really able to show the fact that the city of Pharr is really the place to be.
And we definitely have a great Economic Development Corporation department, which is always, invested in helping businesses with grants, just there's so much support. So just shout out to the whole EDC and Chamber department. They're part of the team, and we all work together.
Yes. Yeah, and they do a great job. They really do. And they have a big responsibility. With the EDC, they have to focus on the bridge, right? There's so many
Right.
things, and there's so
Working closely.
much industrial development that the city of Pharr hasn't seen just yet, but that's coming. And then they have to focus on retail and things like how, certain restaurants perform. So the EDC does a lot, and shout out to Victor and his team. They do a really great job.
Commissioner, well, now that you took the lead on the mic, let's just transition softly over to you. You've been here for
Softly.
6 months now. So, what's your experience so far with the city of Pharr?
It's been a great experience. Honestly, I'm absorbing everything. I didn't think that when I got elected, I didn't think that I'd be in a position where I'd be learning so much, especially from our city manager, right? I didn't think that Dr. Flores was going to come on and make an impact the way he did, not only on our staff, but our commissioners as well. I mean, you see it twice a month at all of our meetings, and it's been a truly great experience, and I've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, so who annoys who? You annoy him, or he annoys you, or how does that work? Because I know that
I for sure annoy him more than me, for sure. We all have demanding jobs, and Dr. Flores is busy. We're all busy during the day, and we care truly about the initiatives we're trying to push forward. So there's always that call, maybe 9 o'clock, maybe a little bit later than normal, and Jonathan's always super good about being attentive to what it is that we're thinking of, right at the time.
Right, but demanding jobs, and you just mentioned it, elected officials, they all have their demanding jobs. I mean, we have 2 commissioners that are full-time surgeons, right? Yeah. So when you show up to a city council meeting, city commissioners meeting, and you have to discuss important topics, let's go back to executive session, and, you just drop everything that's happening in your surroundings, personal life, personal matters, your job. And I'm pretty sure some of these are heated conversations, right? Or what's happening back there? And, everybody wants to know, so I got to ask.
I think it gets heated, not all the time, obviously, right? But I think the only reason it gets heated, or there are heated conversations, is because you have commissioners that all have passion,
right,
for about what they want to try and achieve, and it's all the same goal at the end of the day. It's to make the city of Pharr better, and like you said, improve the quality of life. Everybody has their different opinions, but I'll tell you, it's been very, really remarkable to see. You have surgeons up there, you have myself, and
business owners, entrepreneurs,
yes, and amongst each other, you're really able to see. Everybody's so open-minded, right? So I can have an opinion, Mr. Medina can have an opinion about something, and he can be strong about it. But after discussion, after hearing Dr. Flores' input, our general counsel's input, after just hearing everything, you see people, change their mind. And a lot of people don't have enough pride. They can't set their pride aside in order to really do that.
Right. So that was my next question, with everybody having such strong personalities, and you being our newest, right? Yeah. The new addition.
I'm the new guy.
Just sitting there, I guess, and just listening to everyone's opinion, and they may be very different, right? Mm-hmm. How do you balance it out and just try to be fair with everyone's opinion and feedback?
Yeah, it's a lot simpler than you think, because everybody's so, like I said, open-minded, right? Dr. Caballero, Itza, Bobby, right? We all know how strong-willed Bobby is, and sometimes he has a point that he wants
Cowboys.
to make. Go Cowboys,
as he would say.
And we're all so open-minded that Dr. Flores will come in and he'll provide more information. A lot of the times we all have our full-time day jobs, and what Dr. Flores does and our general counsel, they all come in, or staff, whoever we need to get called in, we get very well informed. And after we get all the information, we're able to really collaborate and make a decision that everybody agrees with.
Would you say you're the mediator, Dr. Flores, when you're in executive session, or just kind of like...
Nah, he's no mediator.
No mediator?
He's no mediator.
It's sometimes, you'd be surprised I guess the thoughts and the questions that might be going through just with residents that are there, or just anyone, sometimes executive sessions can be 5 minutes. Sometimes they're an hour long. So, we have our questions on what's happening, but I'm sure it's for a better outcome.
No, I think that, one thing that's important to note is that, as Commissioner Pacheco mentioned, the passion is there from everybody, but the respect is never lost. You know what I mean? And so certainly don't think I'm the mediator. I'm pretty vocal myself when it comes to certain things that I'm passionate about. But at the same time, I understand my role within the organization, and I understand the very important role that our elected officials have. And, they answer to the community, and they're the ones that set the vision, and I just am their trusted advisor, providing them with valuable input so that they can make the best informed decision possible. And sometimes the information I put out may be difficult, to hear, but it's my job to take on those difficult conversations. And
you mentioned you're very passionate. So I guess when you describe passion, in this professional world with the city of Pharr, I guess, what is your strongest passion about just coming to work every day as a leader?
For me, as you know, I'm very passionate about leadership and mentorship and providing our staff with the tools that they need to be successful, and making sure that we talk a lot about leadership so that they understand that our customers are our most valuable and we need to provide sound quality customer service for our community, right? And so I'm very passionate about growing our department, growing our people, but then I'm also passionate about the projects and the impact that it has on our community, and ensuring that we move at a very, very rapid pace, but not a careless pace, but a rapid pace to be able to accomplish these goals. I'm a fast-paced individual, as you know, you work with me, and you know that I have high expectations, and so for me, that's where it's at.
And I think that's a challenge with Pharr, not that I'm comparing Pharr to any other city or administration, but you are running 24/7 with the city of Pharr. You're just wrapping up a project and you're already halfway through the next one, and it's just, ongoing. But once again, I think if you're passionate, just, you're just involved.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And then when you see those projects to fruition and it makes an impact in the lives of others, that's where it's at. That's why we're in this business, right? To make an impact on our community and to do the best we can for them. So
Right.
I think that's where it's at.
Awesome. Before we wrap this up, speaking of initiatives, we just kicked off the It's Time Texas Community Challenge, which is a statewide initiative. Can you just kind of elaborate for our viewers so they can kind of understand what's going on with the city of Pharr, who's won, by the way, for 6 consecutive years?
Yeah, we're going for number 7.
Number 7 coming.
We want our community to get involved. This is about habit forming and logging in the little things that you do every day, making healthier choices, getting out there for a walk, whatever that looks like for you, whatever you're able to do. It's just getting started and being consistent about it and leading a healthier lifestyle, right? The choices we make today are going to affect our tomorrow, and we want to make sure, I know for me personally, I want to be around for my kids and my grandbaby and, as long as I can, to be able to enjoy life. And so we want our community to join us, and register for the It's Time Texas Challenge, and, log into the city of Pharr and help us bring that number 7 home.
It's very exciting. So we really want to, encourage you to encourage our community, our residents, Commissioner. You're the voice for, the city. So just encourage everyone to go out there and download the app.
Absolutely. Will do. We always talk about improving quality of life, right? And I think in being involved in events like this, doesn't improve your quality of life, better than anything else. So We're excited for it. We're, like Jonathan said, we're excited to bring number 7 home.
So before we wrap up, any final comments? I think I've asked my fair questions.
I just want to address to the community that, as always, we're here for you. Anything that any questions you guys may have, we're here to serve you first and foremost. So we welcome it, and always want to have respectful conversations about the direction of the city. And if we disagree, we can agree to disagree agreeably. And just be good adults and respectful about it, right? So
thank you again. If you have any ideas on who you want to bring on our Pharrcast next time, please send them our way. We just love to poke people's brains. And for those watching, thank you so much, and happy 2024. We can't wait to bring in more guests to our studios and just have everyone informed and updated. We'll see you next time.
see you guys.